Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it's time to wave that magical wand. Bourbon Barrel Aged Wizard Potion is a 10.1% Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from One Well Brewing Company in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I mentioned it back in my Wax Wings overview video a couple weeks ago. I've been making trips out to Kalamazoo at least once a month for the past couple months to pick up beer from Wax Wings. That's been one of the places that I've been stopping. The other one that I've been stopping at just as many times is One Well. Now, I've really been looking forward to trying this one out for a long time since I've heard about it a while ago. When I went today, they actually had it. So let's get a look at the label. We'll get it into a glass. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer and David Jeffries, for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe even just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to these videos and a few other special perks that are available only for patrons. Let's take a look at the label because there's a lot going on. We're going to start off from the top. It says Bigfoot tested and Wizard approved for unreal quality and flavor. And then on the top it says One Well Brewing in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Bourbon Barrel Aged Wizard Potion. Has the wizard kind of laying there with a mug, a frothy mug, holding it up. And he's laying on top of a barrel that says Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. There's like little candies going on here. There's a lot going on. There's a little shed, some potion bottles. The Bigfoot's over here. Some swans are swanning around. I don't know. There's a big mug playing a guitar and just all this crazy stuff going on. On the side here it says onewellbrewing.com. This is 1 pint, 16 fluid ounces. This is BBA Wizard Potion. And then it has their little logo here. It says Bigfoot tested and Wizard approved. Brewed and canned by One Well Brewing in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Drink responsibly. There is a 10-cent deposit. And this was canned on July 2nd, 2021. It is the middle of August right now. It's August 22nd that I'm recording this. This has been out for a few weeks, but like I said, I was able to pick this one up today, and I thought, you know what? I've been looking forward to trying this one out for a long time. I don't see the ABV on the can, but on One Well's website, they do say it's 10.1%. On the chalkboard, it also said 10.1%. Didn't try it out there, though. So I got my Draft Therapy Tiku glass. You can see it right here. And I'm going to go ahead and crack this, put a nose on it, and pour it. See what we get. It's always nice when it doesn't explode when you've been shaking it around. So, putting a nose on it. Ooh. Smells very, like, rich, very deep. Lots of stone fruit. Getting a little bit of a kind of bourbon characteristic out of there, but let's go ahead and pour this. Coming out pretty dark out of the can here. Let's turn it up so we get a little more head kicking up there. And it's raising up. And yeah, so we got about 2 fingers of head here. It's a little bit lighter than coffee. So it's darker than khaki, it's darker than tan. It's definitely not white, but it's not quite super like coffee colored. So it's in between coffee and tan. It's got a nice kind of brown, a generic kind of brown color to it. And let's go ahead and hold it up to the light. Nice bubbles sitting on the top there. Hold it up. Not seeing nothing. Seeing the glass. That's what I'm seeing. I see a glass of dark liquid. Let's put a nose on it. Oh, getting a lot more of a kind of a bourbon-y aroma, a little bit of a bourbon barrel characteristic on the nose here. Has kind of a sweetness to it, a bit of a, like I said, dark fruit kind of aroma, getting maybe a little bit of a raisiny kind of aroma out of there too. Let's just go ahead and dive into it. I mean, what the heck, right? Cheers. I'm going to give it one more sniff. All right. For real. Cheers. All right. Let's talk about the mouthfeel first. Mouthfeel, not quite super thick. It's definitely on the heavier side. It's a little bit heavier than medium. It's definitely not like a syrupy kind of thickness. But like I said, a little bit darker than medium. Let's get talking about the taste. I'll tell you up front, my first initial impression was when I said, whoa, it has like a big kind of bourbon bite to it. But let's walk through it and I'll talk about it. Yeah, first up, what you get is a lot of this sweet bourbon, kind of sweet mash flavor to it. And then it kind of changes. There's a lot of dark fruit in that after that initial kind of bourbony sting. It's not stinging in the respect that when you swallow it, there's no burn to it, but it definitely has like a sweeter, dark fruit, kind of raisiny flavor to it. And then it kind of morphs into a little bit of like a chocolatey, roasty kind of flavor as well. If I let it kind of wash around on my tongue a little bit, that's when I get the bourbon kind of prolongs itself. There's a sweet kind of bourbony flavor, a little bit of that barrel characteristic, but the barrel kind of characteristic also seems to wrap around on the finish. Like I said, that chocolatey note kind of comes through, but it also, and the dark fruit is kind of like the center of it. Like it's like a Fig Newton, right? It's like the bourbon barrel and the bourbon taste is on the initial like kind of taste, and then the initial impression, and then you kind of get that bourbon barrel, oaky barrel kind of flavor, but you get it on the finish too. So in the middle is when you get a little bit of that sweetness. You get the stone fruit, dark fruit kind of dark fruit kind of sweetness. If I've been saying stone fruit, I mean dark fruit. But like I said, you get that kind of raisiny flavor just in the center. That sweetness comes through at the center, and then that oak barrel kind of quality, the bourbon barrel kind of wraps itself around and hits you on the tail end too. It's like a really good joke, right? You get the follow-up, you get the callback on the flavor. But yeah, this is definitely a sipper. This is not one that I would normally, like if I was sitting at the brewery and I was drinking this, I definitely would not be drinking it quite this quickly. I know I'm taking kind of smaller drinks, but I would definitely be taking my time with this one because it has that 10.1% kind of feel to it. You know, you can tell that you're drinking a heavier, higher octane bourbon barrel aged, Imperial Stout. It's not one of those where because it's bourbon barrel aged, think of, I don't want to name any names, but I will, think of something like Dragon Milk where it's 11%, but it tastes really thin. It's not like that at all. You get a lot of full flavor there. It's not super syrupy, thick, like sticky, but it has a nice kind of viscous quality that, it's not too thick, but it's not like super light and super thin. It has a nice body to it. But yeah, it is really complex. There's just a lot of flavors that are going on there. You're getting a lot of that. Like I said, you're getting a lot of that sweetness up front. You're getting a lot of that bourbon barrel just to kind of wrap it up. You're getting the bourbon barrel, you're getting the bourbon flavor, you're getting that dark fruit, you're getting the raisin, then you're getting a little bit of a chocolate, a little bit of a smoky, a little bit of a roasty characteristic in there. And then, like I said, the whole Fig Newton kind of reference, right? You're getting not only on the outside at the beginning, you're getting that bourbon barrel and the bourbon on the finish. You're getting that sweet bourbon. You're getting that bourbon barrel characteristic in there as well. So it just kind of wraps the whole thing up. And this is just a really nice stout, to see something like this and it not be super thin, have a lot of flavor, a lot of different flavors. If you are not a bourbon, if you're a bourbon barrel stout fan that doesn't like the taste of bourbon, I don't know what you're doing drinking bourbon barrel aged stouts, but you gotta like bourbon because it has a nice kind of bourbon up front, a nice bourbon finish. If you're not in bourbon barrel aged stouts for the bourbon flavor, I'd say to avoid this one. Again, what are you doing drinking bourbon barrel aged stouts if you don't like bourbon barrel flavor or bourbon flavor? But this has a nice sweetness to it, a nice kind of sweet characteristic that kind of rolls it all up. That chocolatey kind of smoky, roasty flavor is all wrapped up in that bourbon kind of sweetness. And I have to say, I am not disappointed after waiting this long to try this one. All right, friends, that has been Bourbon Barrel Aged Wizard Potion from One Well Brewing in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Have you had this one yet? Are there other breweries you want to see on the channel? Have you had anything from One Well? What's your favorite thing? Let us know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell because I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. You don't even need a wizard's wand to get all that stuff together, a staff, whatever you want to say the wizards use. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribing and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Enjoy yourself. Cheers.